Hey, I'm Olivia, the Southern Yankee Stitcher. This is my Flosstube 38. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you are a friend, welcome back. This is a channel about cross stitch. I may talk about other little crafts or things that I do, but most of it's about cross stitch. My hair isn't perfect. My makeup isn't perfect today, but I got off work and came home and thought if I don't do this today, I'm not going to get a chance to do it probably for a week. Today is Thursday, May 11th, the Thursday before Mother's Day, and I have family coming in town. I have a sister coming about 10-hour drive and her husband, and my brother his drive's like 5 or 6 hours. So they're coming so that Saturday we can have a little get together with my mother at the nursing home. And of course I'll be visiting with them this weekend too, and they'll probably all head back early Sunday is what they normally do when they come for a short weekend like that. My background isn't perfect. That stitching up there, that's when I bought at a little antique shop, and I just hung it on the nail that was there, so it doesn't look great. Over here, you have the teepee that's for my grandsons. It's always there. But this felted garland hanging here, you see my eyes like twitching from it. My cats have aggravated me. I was trying to decorate pretty, for I start from May through August pretty much. I do patriotic, and so I was using those as a bowl filler. I put them on. Last Saturday I had some friends come over to stitch, and before they came, I had moved the bowl in here because they're not allowed in this room. I keep it shut off. And before they came, I set it back on the coffee table so it would look cute while friends were here. They weren't in the door probably 5 minutes, and the cats had the thing out. So I hung it up there so if they snuck in, they wouldn't get it and tear it up because I like it a lot. I don't want it messed up by the cats. Then let's see, over here, it's really hard to point because it's backwards. I'm working on getting ready to do some project bags. I said that in the last video. I still haven't done any. I need some of the fusible fleece, and I went to Hobby Lobby and they had multiple types, and I couldn't remember what I had, so I need to look that up and buy it so I can get those done. This might have been laying here last time too. It's a long frame that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. Like, clearance is my spot. And I have a panoramic photograph from my mother's high school graduation. It's her graduating class out in front of the school. And I think she graduated in 1950, I'm pretty sure is her class. And what's cool is that I have a panoramic picture of me staying on the same steps. They've torn down the school now, but and rebuilt it right behind it. But I hate to see those steps get torn down since we both have pictures on there. But I was framing that for her because that picture is just the right size for this. I ordered the mat, and I just picked the mat up this week. So I need to lay the picture out and work on that when I have time so I don't mess it up. And then, let's see, I have the ironing board here because I was making curtains for under my work tables here. You can kind of see, gosh, it's so hard to point, that plaid there. This is the fabric. I actually have a chair covered in this fabric, and I just bought the bolt when I bought it because we weren't exactly sure how much they needed and there wasn't a whole lot on there. So I had enough to make the curtains for under the table. So, in a craft room, you have a bunch of junk. I don't know about you, but I sure do. And it just doesn't look good. But you need it, you got all kinds of little supplies. So those little curtains or skirts or whatever you want to call them under the tables hide a multitude of sins under there. I don't think I have a big life update. I've just been, working and stitching, and I don't have too many aches and pains to complain of, which is great. So, yeah, I don't think I have much to update you with on that. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get into it. I've wrote a little list over here of what I need to tell you because I always seem to get off of here and forget to tell you something. So let me first show you some FFOs I have. I have this chart, which I showed you last time. Foxwood Crossing Snow Country Sleds. And I thought they were so, so cute. And I have them in this little bag. This was a DAR bag I got for free in the mail. And I just put everything in here, and it fits in my lunch bag. So kind of wherever I am, if I'm out and about, I normally have that. I have it with me at work, and I have it with me to and from work. So I have my stitching there. I can stitch on when I have time. And I finished each of the sleds. And this is them right here. It's stitched in DMC, and it's three strands of floss over one, and it's perforated paper. And I just stitched it. And then, there's different ways that people say. I've heard people talk about using like fabric tape or something for on the back. It's like a two-sided tape. I just used Aileen's craft glue. I thought, I'm not planning on taking this off. So, because if it comes off, it's probably going to mess up my stitching, but I don't want it to come off. If it comes off by itself, I'm going to glue it right back down as hard as I can. So, these, I thought they're so cute. These are going to be gifts for friends and family for Christmas this year. For the last couple years, I've wanted to do Christmas ornaments to give as gifts, and it just didn't happen. When that's spun, you can see back there, well, I'm still working on my painter's tray. I've had different ideas. I did do a little bit. I have the vine on both sides now, but what caught my eye was that pineapple. That was a pineapple. It's thin wood, and I went to one of those paint and pour parties. But we had our church, so we're Baptists. We don't pour at church. I don't drink anyway. But you painted that, and it says "Welcome" on it. Well, I had it hanging up this spring, and my son came over. He said, "Mama, you can't have that up there because on my front porch beside my front door." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You can't have it up there." I said, "It's not upside down." He said, "It doesn't matter what it is. Quit. You need to take that down." Well, I didn't listen to him. But the wind kept blowing it down. Because I learned this a couple years ago, that if it's an upside down pineapple, it means you're a swinger. Can you believe that? I don't like that. And he's like, "Well, we live out in the country, and if anybody sees the pineapple beside my door, it's because they drove way up my driveway, and they know me. So they know that's not the case." But I just saw that in the corner of my eye. It made me chuckle. I did do some framing of some stitching. It's not stitching that, it's not stitching I did, but if you all may recall, and I don't know how many videos ago it was, but I purchased a antique sampler, some marking sampler from a lady in town that she has a little antique shop, and I asked her if she had any more when I purchased that one. She said, "Yeah, I have a couple more," and she showed them to me, and they weren't as old, but they all came from the same estate. I'm pretty sure she said it was in Edgefield, South Carolina, and this older lady had them all in a suitcase together. So I thought, they're probably from different family members, is my guess. And so I decided I was going to keep them all together. Well, I've bought a couple more now, and I've come to really like stamped cross-stitch pieces. And I mentioned last time, I think, that this wall behind me is going to be all stamped cross-stitch. And this is one of them. And you can see how I framed it. This piece had been, I could tell where it had been folded around, cardboard or something, and framed. Which is a picture of me. And I just decided, I kept looking and looking, and I couldn't find the exact size frame. And I didn't want to spend money on getting a custom frame. So I went, of course, to Hobby Lobby, because we don't have anything else here in town. And I was looking at frames. Well, I found a frame that was like part of their spring decor collection, I think. And they were 40% off. and it don't think it had glass, but it just had, it might have had glass, I don't know, but it had like a floral something in it. It was a light, real light colored wood frame, and it was going to fit pretty close. Still not perfect, pretty close. Well, then I went on up to the frames section where they have like frames for photographs, you know, 8x10s, 5x7s, all that. And on the bottom row of the aisle, I saw this frame. Well, it's a plastic frame, which is fine by me, and it's the kind that can stand up, but you can also hang it too. And it was broken in the corner. The frame had come apart. So this frame that was, I think, $23, something like that, was marked down to 99 cents. Along with about 5 others on the shelf, they must have all got broken in shipment. So I thought, this piece almost fits. For 99 cents, I'm going to go back there to another aisle and buy some, what's it called, E6000 glue, and I'm going to glue that, and it'll be just fine. So I put the other frames back, went and got the glue, and glued the frame up, took the back off, and then I got some black felt. And you're probably not going to be able to see it, but you can, oh, just hit the mouse. Well, I use the same color thread that's in, the same color thread as the linen. And I just stitched it, my scrapbooking roller tape, and glued the black felt to this back right here. Because this is one of those frames that you have to like slide it in, kind of. It goes in a groove, and these things go in a groove. And so I did this one, and then I also did this one. So they're going to hang on the wall behind me. Let me tell you, this one was done pretty, it was pretty neat on the back. This one, they carried all over the place. They didn't knot strings, they were just hanging. I mean, and it's, see, it's got all tore up where it was unframed before. I almost put buttons in each corner. I thought, I'm gonna stick one there. You're not gonna really be able to see it. That might look cute, and also space it from the, so it's not right, the glass isn't right on it. But that wouldn't work with these frames because they just weren't thick enough. So anyway, I got these two framed up, and they will go on the wall. And I like seeing the edge. I like seeing the rough, unraveled edge. It kind of shows its age a little bit. And, you know, I like that. Like, that's one thing my husband never really understood about me. Like, you give me a shiny silver watering can here and a dented rusty watering can over here, I'm going to want the dented rusty one, the old one, instead of the shiny new one. He never quite got that. Oh, but anyway, this is what the frame was. 11x14 frame. I used this. I pinned it on the felt to cut the felt the exact size. Use this like a pattern. And it was easy. My felt I got from a thrift store, and the frames were 99 cents each. So can't beat that. Can't beat that. I have some whips here to show you, and one of them, let me pull out this plastic. You know, dealing with the glares, aggravating. These are more Sleds, Foxwood crossings, and they're called the Small Sled Mini Village. And I think those are real cute. One thing I'm not crazy about, if you look on each of them, there's white dots that stand out. It's supposed to be snow on the trees. I think I'm going to leave that off and just make the trees all green, because I think it takes away from everything else. It's like they're trying to put too much in this tiny little sled. So that's what I'm going to do anyway. And then it's charted for you to put them all together too if you want. So I've just started on those. That's as far as I've gotten. going to try and put this back, y'all, because I'm afraid I will lose it. I don't have it in my little stitching to go. Okay, the other one, I've only been working on 2 things in the last month. The other one is called Traditional Sampler. It is a chart from 1975 by Ginnie Thompson. It's a Pawleys Island original. And this is it right here. This is the one I saw it on eBay. My mother-in-law's maiden name was Thompson, so I decided to take out the name Virginia, put in Lavinia, which was her middle name, but the name she went by, and leave everything else the same. So let's see. Let me move my needle. This is how far I've gotten. Wow, you can really see it on the screen. You can barely tell a difference. This is a kit. It came with the linen and the floss, which they identified with DMC numbers. The floss that I was using for the letters, I had everything with floss rings, but I was, pulling the same color so much, I just took it off the floss ring and just had it loose in there. I lost it. I don't know if it's down deep in the couch and I can't find it, if the cats took it somewhere and I can't find it, behind the washing machine or something. I don't know. I pulled out the DMC and where did I was going backwards. I like to stitch from left to right because the way I use the sewing method. I think, well, you can see this color is a little bit lighter than this. This is the darker color. I think that M is the darker. In person, it's not quite as obvious as that. I still think I'm just going to leave it. There were color changes all the times in samplers. I have changed it up because the little girl would be Lavinia. And in this, she had a gray dress on, and I thought that's kind of sad. So I'm giving her a pink dress. And her hair is blonde. She's got a blue cap on. And her father there is a redhead because her father was a redhead. Her brother here will be a redhead, and that's just her, one of her brothers. She had 2 brothers and a sister, but there's only, 2 kids pictured here. And then her mother, I think she had light brown hair. I only knew her with gray hair, so I don't know. And all the old pictures are black and white. But I think she had light brown hair, so that's the color hair I'm going to do. Wow, that tree doesn't even look green unless you get it up close. There you can see the letters. What do you think, y'all? Should I pull out the first row of letters and stitch them all so they match? Don't want to do that. But that's the extent of my stitching this month. I do have other things to show you still, but I haven't done any other stitching. That was such a simple sampler that I could get it finished. And I just, I'm trying to make myself a non-monogamous stitcher, and it's hard for me. I really just want to get that done. Oh, let's see. I listed some Stitchy Kindness here because when I had friends come over last week to stitch, one of them is Crystal Rowe. She has a Flosstube. She's inactive on her Flosstube now. She's got a lot of stuff going on. Going to school herself, homeschooling her son, and her mother's had health problems, so it's a lot. But she came over and was able to come and stitch for a while. I was so glad because it's, when you have all that going on, it's hard to get out of the house. But she brought a stack of charts to share with everybody else. And I think everybody got a few. And These are the ones I got. And this one may be a duplicate. I haven't gone back to look yet. I kind of think it's a duplicate. And if it is a duplicate, I told her, I said, this might be a duplicate. I think I might have this. She said, then just give it away. So it'll be a future giveaway if it ends up being a duplicate. And then that was Little House Needleworks. Blackbird Inn is what that's called. These are Country Cottage Needleworks, and there's Santa's House and Poinsettia Place. And I thought these were cute, and I might do ornaments with these. If they will fit, I might put each of the little houses on a sled. I kind of want to do sleds for everyone that I'm giving an ornament to, so then next year it will be something different. You know, this will be the year of the sled. That's kind of what I'm thinking, to keep it consistent like that. I haven't been shopping, y'all. Can you believe it? I mean, you know, I love to shop, and I believe in retail therapy, but I did very little shopping. I showed you a picture on the last video of my card catalog that I got off Facebook Marketplace. And I'm looking at it right here, and it stored my DMC, and I have my DMC all in the plastic bags, the ones you get from Hobby Lobby. And when I would open and close the drawers, sometimes the bags would get caught and it would pull them out. It just wasn't, like, I wanted to be able to flip through them, each drawer, like a card catalog. And you just can't flip plastic bags that way. I mean, it was okay. It was okay, but it wasn't great. So I measured and I ordered some envelopes. Envelopes came, they were way too small. I wanted to have a little bit of wiggle room in there, but it was too much wiggle room, and I couldn't find the right size envelope. Well, then I had some little thank you cards, and I tried one of those envelopes, and it was just perfect. So I measured it and ordered 300 of them. My idea was to take this DMC book, make a color copy of each page, and then cut out the number and the color and put it on the envelope, and then have them filed numerically. Well, that's a great idea, except these in the book, they're not numbered. They're not like sequentially numbered in any kind of way. You see that? So it was not a quick process. And I don't have like a complete DMC collection or anything. So anyway, I got it done. I printed them out on a sticker sheet. But once you cut them, trying to peel the back off those stickers was way too time consuming. So I just took them and taped them on there. I didn't care if they were stickers, I just taped them on. So anyway, here's one of the drawers. This is kind of how I have it organized. See if that'll focus. It's so bright it doesn't want to focus. But like here's 800 and the color. I'm not necessarily going to flip through here to look for a color since I have this. You know, I'll look here and figure out the color I want, and then I'll go to my drawer. So anyway, it was not as easy as I thought it was going to be because those numbers are not in order. And I ordered this DMC book off of eBay. I found it, you know, less expensive there because the one that's actual floss in the book was not available on the DMC website. But I clicked on the option to notify me when it comes back in stock. Well, I've heard it's been out of stock a lot, so I really didn't plan on it coming back in stock anytime soon, which is why I bought the regular printed book. Well, then I got to notice almost as soon as I had this project done And it took me a couple evenings to do that. Got to notice that the books were back in stock, so I ordered the kind with the floss. And they really are nice. I mean, I've been fine with the other, for my purposes, but it's nice to have the one with the floss. But because I have two now, I'm going to give this one away. So, if it looks like whoever I ordered this from on eBay, it has a price tag on there, so you can see a little bit of sticky. But otherwise, it's in great condition. I just made some copies of it, photocopies of it for my labels. Let me take my little extra pieces out. So if you were interested in this book, you need to be a subscriber. You need to like the video. And if you will also comment and just tell me what you're working on right now, and use the word book. Book is the word. Let me write this down. Because how could I forget book? That's pretty easy, but just use the word book in your comment, and I'll give that away at my next video. Okay, so I have a couple funny things to share with y'all. I hope you think they're funny too. I just dropped something on the floor I need to show you. That's okay, I have another one here. You know how when you buy clothes and they have like the little ribbon in here that helps hold it on the hanger? I always cut mine out. Whether they're the ribbon type or the plastic stretchy kind, I rip them out. I don't know if, I just don't like that sometimes they'll show, they'll come out. I don't want to have to wind it around my bra strap or whatever. So I just cut them out. Unless it's something really won't stay on the hanger without them, then I might leave them on. But I bought some new shirts, and I bought, I think, 4 new shirts at one time, and they all had ribbon loops, those loop things in there. So I cut them all out, and I looked at them, I thought, this ribbon is the perfect size for an ornament. So I kept them, and I stuck them in my ribbon stash over here in this dresser. Well, I got out a long jacket, kind of lightweight duster, I guess you might call it. This floral, you wear it over something else. And I bought it probably, oh gosh, at least a year ago, maybe 2. And I never really had anything to wear it with. And I was getting dressed, and I pulled it out, and I was like, hey, this matches this tank I can wear under it, and these pants, and so I go and I cut the ribbons out. Well, I look at them, and I'm like, you're supposed to cut these out because these ribbons have little scissors on them. You see the little scissors? I was getting dressed in the morning, and I cut them out, and I was like, I'm going to be able to use them somehow in something I stitch. And I guess the little scissors on here are trying to tell you to cut them out. It's like an instruction, okay? So I cut them out, and I just lay them in my bathroom I have like a tall jewelry box. And I lay them on top of the jewelry box. So I come home that afternoon, and I'm getting changed. And I look up at them a little closer. Are they little scissors? No, they are not. It says Jessica Simpson, the brand of clothing that I cut them out of. Only people that are old and are losing their vision, like I am, would understand how far off you can be. I wasn't wearing my glasses, number one. That was a big problem. I wasn't wearing my glasses. But anyway, do y'all watch Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching? I think probably most stitchers, if they watch Flosstube, they watch them. And they're doing the silver and gold thing. Um, an old friend or Flosstuber is gold, and a new friend Flosstuber is silver, and I think that's pretty neat. Like they need to give me a shout out, right? No, it's not why I mentioned it. I just mentioned it because I was thinking maybe I need to make some recommendations for floss tubes that I've been watching and I haven't. Like made a list in my head or on paper or really put a whole lot of thought into it. But I think I'm probably going to do that. But probably who I watch, you probably watch too. I watch Brenda, the serial starter, Brenda and Laura. I watch the Antique Needleworkers. They're new and their channel's really good. Another one I've been watching for a long time is Niecy Lynn. And I was watching her video last week. She does one every Friday and shows her stitching and tells some stories. And she has some funny stories. Let me tell you, when I first found her channel, I went back and watched everything from the beginning. Because, that's how you get to know people and see their stitching progress and all. And she was talking about, I don't even know how she brought this up, but she was talking about lying. And she doesn't like to lie, even if it's like to not hurt somebody's feelings. She just doesn't like lying. It's the only time she might do it if somebody's like wearing a top that doesn't look good on them and they ask, how do I look? Something like that. But it reminded me of a quote from my husband's grandmother. When we moved to South Carolina 25 years ago to my husband's hometown, we started going over to see his grandparents every weekend. She from the time my husband can remember as a kid, made hot dogs and hamburgers every Saturday with chili, and like chili like you put on a hot dog. And then she makes Sunday dinner, and throughout the week she would bake. She'd bake rolls, pies, and cakes. Anyway, she always just had food for whoever came in. And so we would go and see them a lot because, they love the grandkids and the grandkids love them and we love them. I loved his grandparents so much. I couldn't have loved them anymore if they were my blood grandparents. They were just the sweetest people and always made me feel at home. And, they've both passed on, but his granddaddy was, he worked in the cotton mill, but then he worked also as a preacher at a local church here. So he was kind of bivocational, and after he retired, he still preached for a while. And his grandmother worked in the cotton mill, and he was the sweetest man, and she was very sweet too, but you didn't cross her. If you crossed her, you might not think she was a preacher's wife. I don't know that she would say bad words, but she'd let you have it, But there was one thing she would talk about her son, and he had red hair, just like I'll show you in that sampler, and his nickname was Red when he was a kid. Well, his nickname was Red, I think, his whole life. And she said he was bad. He was so bad as a kid. And this quote I love, and I'm going to put it on something stitching. He'd rather climb a tree and tell a lie than stand on the ground and tell the truth. So I had to tell Niecy Lynn that one in my comment to her, but it just reminded me of that quote. And I asked somebody that I work with who's lived in this area her whole life if she had ever heard that, because his grandparents lived in the mill village. It's the cotton mill village, and if you're not from the Carolinas, maybe you don't know what that is, but it's the cotton mill would build these houses for their workers, and they would live there, and they'd have their own company store, and it was a whole little community. And I asked her, have you ever heard that? He'd rather climb a tree and tell a lie than stand on the ground and tell the truth. She's like, I am country, but I have never heard that. So Maybe that's an original from Nanny. I don't know. If y'all have ever heard that, let me know. But I'm going to stitch something that has that on there. I'm definitely going to. She would say some other little things too that that I had never heard before. And if you were hurt and she was doctoring up, like she's done that to my kids, they were out playing or something. She'll look at it, clean it up, whatever, put a band-aid on it, pat it, and said, "It'll be better before you're married." What does that mean? Oh, it's okay. It'll be better before you're married. Like you're only worried about. I don't know. I don't know where that quote came from, but I might have to put that on some stitching too. I might have to figure out how to work that one in. um, let's see. So, well, I'm looking forward to StitchCon. My eye is all twitchy now. I'm tired. Been working all day, staring at a computer. But I'm going to StitchCon Weekend B. And if any of you were there, I sure hope you will come up and say hello to me. Last year, some people came up and said hello, and I was kind of like deer in the headlights. I didn't know really what to say or do because I just wasn't prepared for someone to, that had watched my video to be there. Anyway, I hope that I will see some of you there at StitchCon. I don't know if I'll make another video between now and then. It's the end of school year. We have graduation. My LNS, Pandas Crossing, is having like a little retreat the weekend before StitchCon. And I don't know. I might be able to get one recorded, but if not, I will definitely do one after. And let me look at my little notes here. Talked about the framing. I think that's it, y'all. Remember, say the word book. Put the word book. Be 18 or over. Don't say giveaway or anything like that. Just use the word book. And whenever I do my next video, I will announce the winner. Okay? All right, y'all take care. Bye.